Welcome back to the channel. I am Jimmy Franklin, and as you see in my lap, I have purchased Stevie T's guitar. But more about that in a second. First, let's shred. So, needless to say, this guitar absolutely shreds faces off. Not even a little bit of shreds, like ultimate shreds faces off. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I'm not exactly sure about all the specs on this, but I'm going to give you the rundown of what this basically is. Let's switch on over to one of the other two guitar cams. Oh yeah. So as you'll see, over here I have camera 2. Oh yeah, she's sexy. And over here we have camera 3. Oh yeah. Oh. And this thing looks just as gorgeous in person as it does on camera, and it looks just as gorgeous on camera as it does in person. This is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So what happened was, this guitar was up on one of our favorite websites by the name of reverb.com, and I had to pounce on it. I had to try it out. I needed to see if a Crackle paint job was really worth it. I needed to see the way the Crackle paint job meets the neck on one of these. That was super important. I wanted to know about the through body necks. I wanted to know about the fretboard radius. I wanted to know everything about this specific model. So we're gonna go over a couple of those things right now. Starting down here, we have the fun stuff. We have an ash body. Part of the reason this guitar sounds so insane is because of the ash body. Ash bodies are just, I always call them mechanical bulls. They just feel, every time you play it, it feels like you have to tame it, and it's just so good. It is an ash body, but separated down the middle by the through neck, which if you don't know, there's 3 different types of neck. You have bolt-on necks, you have set necks, which are glued into the socket, and in this case, this neck, being a through neck, runs all the way through the body, and the 2 sides are glued on. We got 1 volume, and we got the 5-way blade switch, which I did have to replace the cap because I lost it. So this is not the stock one. This one looks goofy. In the body, in this case, the pickups that we have are a Kiesel Thorium, and we have a Kiesel Lithium. And I'm a huge fan of the Lithiums, and I didn't think they could get much better. And then of course I checked out this one because it had the Thorium in it, and it is just a metal machine when you so gnarly. It's just such a gnarly pickup. And in this case, the Lithium, which I thought was a hot pickup, and it is definitely a hot pickup, is very mellow compared to it. Comparing the two, the Lithium is surprisingly mellow. And I guess we're gonna shed light on the elephant in the room, but this is probably the sexiest paint job to exist in the world of guitar. And I think it's like a love it or hate it kind of thing, but in my case, I absolutely love it. Like the rainbow paint job with the with the Crackle finish is just unbelievable, and it's become a staple of Kiesel stuff, and I needed to know if it was worth it to get a Crackle, and I think it's very obviously worth it because it's a non-returnable option. I wanted to make sure that I would love it, and I do love it. In this case, this one has these stupid little strap buttons, and I can't stand it, especially on the angle that this is at. The strap would just fall right off, so I'm using these clip locks, and that's been helping. Crackle paint job's gorgeous. I got the hip shot trim, and for some reason this bar is really loose, which keeps pissing me off because I want to do all my flutters and crap. You know, and I want to be able to do... It just keeps wiggling around. And every time I'm jumping around on stage, it just like goes in a circle. We got the 5-way blade, and the in-between settings are really hot, but they do that a little. So the splits just sound so delicious. And it's funny because the Thorium and the Lithium fighting each other in a way kind of makes the sound similar to my AZ. And I love that sound. So having a Kiesel that can do it makes me super happy because I love being headless. And anyone who knows me right now knows that like I'm having an internal war over who makes better guitars, and my top two are Ibanez and Kiesel. And so I'm fighting right now. Something else that's really cool, let me see if I can get this on one of these cameras down here. Unlike your usual Kiesel guitar, which has the typical kind of screw-in input jack, this one has one of the same ones like my AZ does in this case, and these big rubber grommet ones that don't ever come loose, and I'm so happy about that. That's been really wonderful. And just a nice little aesthetic thing, let me tell you. The abalone on top of this knob is great. Now let's finish up real strong here. The neck is a 5-piece maple and mahogany neck, right? So it's maple, mahogany, maple, mahogany, maple. And I love the striped necks, and it's their full-size neck. Turns out my other Kiesel has the thin profile, and I didn't know it until I played this, and this is really close. If you're an AZ fan or a Gibson fan in general, where it's a little bit chunkier of a neck, this neck is really, really good. It's definitely thicker. It's definitely got a little bit of chonk to it, which I'm very happy about. Pair that up with the fact that it's not a 20-inch fretboard radius, this one's a 14. And then you just get like a perfect blend. So if you are used to something like an Ibanez AZ or a Gibson or even Strats maybe in a way, this would be a great neck to go with. And it's unfinished. And I was scared about the fact that when you do the unfinished neck with a neck through, you do hit the lacquer. And that hasn't been a problem whatsoever for me. It is weird at first though, I'll give you that. But after a little bit, you get so used to it because it's so comfortable. Then on the front, on the fretboard, we got Bird's Eye Maple, which is perfect. It looks wonderful, feels wonderful, can't complain. Medium jumbo frets, which is very weird for me because I love jumbo frets, but these haven't been offending me whatsoever. I think with the 14-inch fretboard radius and the nicer neck, I'm enjoying the medium jumbos more than I normally would. Let's see, let's do some tippity-tappity since I'm referencing that. Just the fact that this guitar makes you want to act ridiculous. It just makes you want to act out. Pointy guitars are never comfortable to sit with as it is, and this one is just ridiculously comfortable, so I'm having a great time with that. That is all the time I have because a bunch of my cameras are dying now. So, go and get yourself a Kiesel Crackle. That is all the time I have. My name is Jimmy Franklin. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And Stevie, If you want your guitar back, you know where to find me.